You want to know why you're not winning? I'll tell you exactly why, and it has nothing to do with the economy, your circumstances, your upbringing, or any of the other bullshit excuses you've been using. You don't have discipline. That's it. That's the entire problem. You have motivation. You have good intentions. You have plans. You have goals written in a journal somewhere, but you don't have discipline. And without discipline, all of that other shit is just noise. Let me show you the difference. Motivation is the feeling you get on Sunday night when you decide that Monday is going to be different. You're going to wake up early. You're going to hit the gym. You're going to eat clean. You're going to be productive. You're going to stop wasting time. You feel it. You believe it. You're ready. Monday morning, the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and you hit snooze, not because the plan changed, because the feeling changed. The motivation that was so strong 12 hours ago is gone, and without the feeling, you don't move. You stay in bed. You rationalize it. I'll start tomorrow. I need the rest. One more day won't matter. And you go back to sleep. That is the life of a man without discipline, waiting for the feeling to return. And it will return next Sunday, and you'll feel motivated again. And next Monday, you'll fail again. And this cycle will continue until you're 50 years old, looking back, wondering why you never did any of the things you said you were going to do. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't give a fuck how you feel. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and you get up. Not because you want to. You don't want to. You never want to. You get up because that's what you do. That's the rule. The rule is not get up when you feel like it. The rule is get up at 5 a.m. and disciplined men follow rules, even when, especially when they don't feel like it. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this at a level most men never will. He was exiled from Florence. Everything he had worked for, gone. His political career, over. His reputation, destroyed. He was sent to a small farm with no income, no prospects, no path back to the life he had. And he could have spent his days in self-pity. He could have waited to feel motivated to do something with his situation. He could have told himself that when things got better, when he felt inspired, he would start creating again. But he didn't, because discipline doesn't wait for ideal conditions. Discipline operates in the conditions that exist. So he created a routine. Every day at the same time he would dress in his finest clothes, sit at his desk and write. Not when inspiration struck. Every day, whether he felt like it or not. Whether the words came easily or not. Whether anyone would ever read what he was writing or not. He wrote, and from that discipline, practiced daily in exile, came The Prince. A book that 500 years later is still being read, still being studied, still shaping how power is understood, while every prince who had more comfort, more resources, more motivation than Machiavelli is completely forgotten. That's what discipline does. It turns nothing into something. It turns exile into legacy. It turns disadvantage into advantage, not through feeling, through action. Repeated, daily, regardless of circumstance. And you're waiting to feel like doing the work. You're waiting for motivation to strike. You're waiting for conditions to be perfect. And while you wait, disciplined men are moving. They're not more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. They just move when you're still in bed, hitting snooze. Here's the brutal truth about discipline that nobody wants to hear. Discipline is not natural. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. It is the deliberate practice of doing things you don't want to do because they need to be done. And most men cannot tolerate that level of sustained discomfort. So they quit. They go back to motivation. They go back to waiting for the feeling, and they stay exactly where they are. The disciplined man wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, not because he's a morning person, because he decided. That's when he wakes up, and decisions for disciplined men are not negotiable. The decision has been made. The alarm goes off. He gets up. There is no internal debate. There is no, should I or shouldn't I? The decision was made once, and now it's just execution. He trains even when he doesn't want to, especially when he doesn't want to, because training when you're motivated is easy. Training when you're tired, when you're sore, when you have 100 reasons not to, that's when discipline is built. That's when the difference between you and the man you're becoming is created. He eats the food that serves his goals even when he wants the food that doesn't. He works on his business even when the work is boring. He has the hard conversation even when avoiding it would be more comfortable. He does the thing every time. Not because he wants to, because that's what disciplined men do. And here's what happens over time. The disciplined man doesn't get more motivated. He gets more capable, because capability is built through repetition of difficult things. Every time you do the hard thing when you don't want to, you are proving to yourself that you can. And that proof compounds. After 100 reps of doing hard things become your baseline. What used to stop you doesn't stop you anymore. Not because it got easier, because you got harder. Let me show you what this looks like in 1 year. 2 men, same starting point, same resources, same potential, different discipline. The undisciplined man has good weeks and bad weeks. When he's motivated, he's on fire. When he's not doing shit. He relies on how he feels to determine what he does. Some weeks he trains 5 times. Some weeks he trains 0 times. Some months he's productive, some months he's not. And at the end of the year, he's essentially the same person he was at the beginning. Maybe slightly better, maybe slightly worse, but fundamentally unchanged. The disciplined man has a system. He trains 4 times per week. Every week, no exceptions. Not 5 times when he's motivated. Not 0 times when he's not. 4 times, every week. 52 weeks. 208 workouts. He works on his business 1 hour per day. Every day. Not 5 hours when he's inspired. Not 0 hours when he's tired. 1 hour, every day. 365 hours. He reads 30 minutes per day. Every day. 182 hours of reading in a year. At the end of the year, the disciplined man is unrecognizable. His body is different. His business is different. His mind is different. Not because he had more motivation, because he had more discipline. And discipline, practiced daily, compounds into transformation. Now extend that to 5 years, 10 years. The undisciplined man is still the same. Still waiting for motivation. Still starting and stopping. Still making plans he doesn't execute. The disciplined man has built an entirely different life. Wealth, health, capability, freedom, not through wanting it, through doing the work. Every day, for years. And here's the part that will piss you off. You know this is true. You know that the reason you're not where you want to be is because you lack discipline. You know that every time you chose comfort over discipline, you chose staying the same over changing. You know it, and you're still not doing anything about it. Because changing requires you to admit that the problem is you, not your circumstances, not the economy, not your past. You, your lack of discipline, your inability to do hard things consistently, your weakness. And that admission hurts, so you avoid it. You make excuses. You blame externals. You wait for motivation, and you stay stuck. Here's what you do instead. Today, right now, you pick one thing, one non-negotiable daily discipline, not 10 things. One. Maybe it's waking up at a specific time. Maybe it's training. Maybe it's working on your business for 1 hour. Maybe it's reading. One thing. And you decide, right now, that this thing is no longer optional. It's not something you do when you feel like it. It's something you do, period. And tomorrow, when you don't feel like doing it, you do it anyway. And the next day, and the next day, you do it for 30 days straight. No exceptions, no excuses, no negotiation. You prove to yourself that you are capable of discipline in one area, and from that one area, you expand. Because discipline is a skill. It's not a personality trait. It's not genetic. It's a skill that is built through practice, and the practice is simple. Decide, execute. Repeat, every day, regardless of how you feel. Machiavelli didn't feel like writing every day in exile. He did it anyway, and his discipline created something that outlasted him by 5 centuries. You don't feel like getting up early. Do it anyway. You don't feel like training. Do it anyway. You don't feel like working on your business. Do it anyway. Feelings are not the boss of you. You are the boss of you, and bosses make decisions and enforce them. Losers wait for permission from their feelings to act. Winners act, and their feelings follow. You have 2 choices. You can continue being the man who relies on motivation, who has good weeks and bad weeks, who starts strong and fades, who makes plans and doesn't execute them, who at the end of his life will have a list of things he meant to do but never did. Or you can become a man of discipline, who does what needs to be done regardless of how he feels, who builds capability through repetition of hard things, who at the end of his life will have built something real because he didn't wait for ideal conditions to start building. Motivation is for losers. Discipline is for men, and you need to decide right now which one you are. Stop waiting to feel like it. Start doing it every day, without exception, without negotiation. That's discipline. That's the difference. That's why you're losing and they're winning. Subscribe to Savage Philosophy. We don't motivate, we discipline. And if that's not what you need, this isn't the channel for you.